So a woman writes to the Rebbe. She's obviously very distressed. Lives in New York. It seems that she feels that she's achieved nothing in her life. It's just feeling very, very empty and very unpurposeful. And it also seems that she's estranged from her children, not a totally unusual phenomenon, but she's lost a connection with them. And all of this gives her an enormous sense of despair. So the Rebbe says to her, I should point out that a human being, really can't evaluate the importance of even a single act. How much more so, one couldn't evaluate the impact of many actions. The Baal Shem Tov, he pointed out, he says, and I heard this the Rebbe, I heard this from my father-in-law, the previous Lubavitch Rebbe, that a soul can come down to earth for 70 or for 80 years for the sole purpose of doing a single favor to a Jew, materially or spiritually. And that could be the whole purpose of a person's life. Now, he says, if you can consider all the good things that you've done in the past, all the benevolent acts, and that you'll continue to do in the days and the years ahead on behalf of your fellow Jews around you and other people, directly or indirectly, you'll realize that actually there is a great deal of meaning to life. Who can evaluate the importance of what you've achieved and those acts of kindness and of benevolence and of caring and of helping? And when I say things which you've done indirectly, I want to point out to you that the very idea of managing a Jewish home and living a Jewish way of life here in the United States is of enormous benefit to Jewish friends and neighbors, because in this country, people are more influenced by example than by admonition. And of course, he's got America absolutely right. So you've set an example to many others, and they see you and they will take from the example. And how can you say that that is meaningless? And therefore, I'm absolutely certain that you have many opportunities to help others directly and indirectly. And who can estimate the true value of a single good act, as I've already mentioned? Then he goes on to deal with this situation of her circumstances. Said, I can very well understand and sympathize the various adversities that you have suffered in the family. On the one hand, it's really important to remember that a parent can always exercise a certain amount of influence over their children, even when there's no direct contact, simply by strengthening your own faith in God. Because he says all the members of a family are like one single body. And in the case of a body, any benefit to any one part of the body benefits the whole of the body. So it could happen that one single good deed alone could tip the entire balance. So to this despairing woman, he offers her the prospect that she's actually done many good things and that those things have a value. And in regard to all the adversities and the anguish that she feels in regard to her children and family, he gives her hope to say, you strengthen yourself, and you should know that that will definitely have an impact even on your children, despite the fact that you have no direct contact with them. And there's a tipping point, and you don't know, maybe the next act itself is going to be the one that's going to change everything. So he gives her enormous hope and a sense of optimism.